Well, we're having a bit of trouble today with the rest of the insulation. We don't own any pressure poles, so we're DIYing our own with some heavy planks. So because the inside of the van here, the panels curve, it's harder to stick something down because it's not completely flat, so you have to have something pressurized on it. So this is our DIY version here. To stick on our insulation today, we're using the Evo Stick multi-purpose silicone in white, just because this is the only stuff that's actually working to stick our insulation on the wall. So
we wouldn't actually recommend using this. We'd recommend using a good glue like Gorilla Glue, but we don't have anything to keep pressure on these for like 2 hours for. A lot of people use the pressure poles, which like come from the roof and keep pressure on that overnight. So that's the professional proper way to do it. We don't have that. So we're leaning it against the wall with silicone and it's working fine.
So this is one side so far. We've filled in all the gaps that we want to, and then we're gonna wait until this third side has dried, or at least has dried enough that it can stay on the wall on its own without having the bit of the plank of wood leaning against it. So now we're going to start on the other side. Now this side is not sticking on very well, so we've foamed it. Maybe that will help it stick a bit better. Because the top section on this side was finished, we've decided that we're going to foil it for now. All we did was cut our foil to size with a Stanley knife, shape it all up, and now we're taping it on with the aluminium tape. That looks so neat and tidy. I'm happy with that.
Yeah.
Just need to wait for this to dry now. So the missing puzzle piece that was stopping us from installing our fan arrived today, so that's what we're going to be doing. Exciting!
Hi. First thing we need to do is measure up where it's going to go well, because that's the most important step.
Now just
Perfect.
So we've cut our guide holes in now after measuring it over and over. Now it's time to cut it. Here we go.
So, started with a jigsaw, but we found because of the notches we couldn't get a flat cut.
do you want the file?
So we moved on to a grinder, which is a lot easier.
I can't believe we just cut a hole in our roof. So, it turns out that it doesn't quite fit perfectly here
In one bit.
in one bit. So that's fine. It's better to grind it too small than it is to grind it too big. So to make that last bit fit, we're just going to use a file to file it down, because it's millimeters, isn't it? Smaller than that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, there you go.
We're on.
Just needed a bit of a firm hand.
We're on. So we've cut the hole away, put that in, it fits in well. So I've just grinded away the edges, make sure they're smoother, so there's no metal filings anywhere. we'll, so these are all soft to the touch now. Got to do this side and then we're done. Then I'm going to cover it, well, clean it up, cover it in Hammerite to make sure it doesn't rust, and then start getting it put in, pretty much. So I've just cleaned around the edges, getting anything loose off. Now I'm going to put more Hammerite on around the edges so that it's not open metal. There's also some rusty bits over there I'm going to touch up while I'm up here. And then once that's done, I forgot. Right. 3 edges done. So we're marking pieces of wood to go on the frame on the inside, so that when we're screwing the frame onto the van, it's not just going on the metal, because it's just a tiny little thin layer of metal, so we want something more to hold on to. So I'm going around the edge now with a pencil because I'm going to put silicone down to make sure this is properly sealed once it's on. And I don't want to be going any further than I have to with the silicone. So we just go around here with a pencil.
So just to explain what we've been doing here, we've been holding the bits of wood under the sides that we've cut them for, and just drilling through the top here into the wood underneath, so we know exactly where the screws are going. We're just doing that with every bit of wood now, marking it up for it to go on the inside.
Yeah. Yeah.
Time for silicone.
Probably better off starting there and dragging it back round and pushing it forward. I don't know. Yeah. Is it?
Yeah, so I've done the S shape. Now I want to go around the edge, just like an actual seal. Ready?
Yeah. Right.
So my granddad's underneath and he's holding the wood. You'll probably see it better.
I'll
when
do
you
this
that
one
side.
next.
But it's officially on.
Should go in there. Yeah. I can see them. Ready? Yeah. This one. Yeah. Last one.
Right, ready?
Can you see all the silicone pushing out there? Near side. Yeah. Which is a big sign. And last one. Yep. Okay. That's good if we can see silicone.
Just sealing off those side bits because it's right next to the raised edge, so we might as well fill that gap.
I'm just going all the way around. And it doesn't matter if it's oozed out like that, because this is all going to be covered, so you're not going to see it.
Yeah.
I'd rather there's a good seal on it.
This is what it looks like on the inside. You can see, well, almost see, the wooden batons fit perfectly as a frame.
Now I'm going over the screw heads with more sealant, just to make it watertight even more. Rain should never even get to these screws because it is rainproof, this. shield, but can't be too safe.
Look at that.
So good.
So then we just have to screw those bits in,
Yeah,
and that's it in.
Just taking this.
Amazing.
it.
Just screwing it on now. There's 2 holes on this side and then there's 2 on the other.
Yep.
Then that's it in, is it?
Yeah.
And then we get to take the plastic off.
Last step.
Oh yeah.
This is the last piece of the puzzle, but we have to put this on once all of our insulation is done and once the pretty much the roof is finished. So I don't know if I can do this while videoing. Yeah, it slots in to there basically. That's what it looks like when it's done. Obviously the gap will be filled by roof stuff and insulation and paneling and all that, so this goes on last after all that's finished. So but for now that's how it looks.